All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy LIVE Show. I am here with, you know him from the Redpoint Brewing Company, the co-founder, Spencer Jemelka. I remember.
You got it, buddy.
Jemelka, man. It's how a Mexican would say it, right?
Well, we do the hard J's, but yeah.
Okay, well, it's close then.
Czech Hungarian, I think it's Jemelka, yeah.
All right, man. So, how's life, brother? It's been a long time.
I think, we were talking like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Since I was on
in
last?
person.
Yeah,
in person. It's been a while.
No.
So, obviously, a lot has changed.
Big time.
Big time, right?
Oh,
Brewery's going well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Congrats. Taipei's changed a lot in the past couple of years as well.
That's right. Right. And one of the biggest changes, obviously, is audio's good. Okay, is obviously the introduction of AI. AI, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. Like I was mentioning to you earlier, I started doing like a hybrid school thing with my daughter because AI, it's like this almost like a Pandora's box of like you have everything.
There's so much.
Just everything there. And learning SEO, learning all this stuff. But I want to talk about how you've taken AI and implemented it into your brewery.
Oh, look, thanks so much.
Yes.
And for giving me the opportunity to talk about it for
My pleasure.
a while.
I love it.
Because I basically don't stop.
I love that.
This is my topic.
That's it, man. I love that. So let's start. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So what got you started kind of into like, I got to get into this AI thing?
All right. It was during COVID.
Okay.
And we had all this time. And I figured like what I could really invest my time in was automating stuff at the brewery.
Yes.
So I was working on starting to learn how to code, C++, stuff like that, doing a lot of automation for the brewery to save us time when COVID ended, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I was building these programs just to try and save us some time. And then after doing that about 1.5 years of just like, oh man, like searching on Google, Stack Overflow, that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Writing the worst PHP, HTML pages. Like I look back on that stuff, I'm like, God, I did not know what I was doing. And then ChatGPT 3.5 came out.
Yes.
And I was like, hold on a second. I can put in something here and it writes the code for me in like natural human language and I get an output. That was huge.
Yeah, of course.
And immediately, like I started building stuff like from the start.
Okay.
And it was painstaking, man. I'm talking like copy paste, and building these like getting better and better websites.
Okay.
And from that, like it just took off from there, and I just started to like consume as much AI media as I could.
Yeah.
To learn more about how I can automate things.
That's beautiful. How can you like? I'm also kind of in the rabbit hole with the AI, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like to stay on top of everything. It's crazy. And, like I was saying earlier, I got the restaurant and the wife, and I've got, my daughter, and I'm doing the homeschool thing, and I'm doing like, I just finished making dough, for the restaurant. Actually, we provide tortillas for Chris's place for Margarita Social Club, right?
Yep.
So I just put in a big order. So I'm like, oh my God,
Very
I got those doughs in there. I got to get that dough.
They got the beer there?
They do. That's good. So I'm like, we got to get that done, and so, yeah, I mean, and lost my train of thought on that, but I think that AI, small businesses need it.
Oh, yeah.
And people kind of think, AI is going to take my job, or you're trying to replace people. I can't find people to work.
There's that for sure.
That's another thing. It's hard to find someone to work. So when, where would you start? Like, let's start with, so you started, let's go through your story, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And like, so I did a presentation on actually last year at Brew Asia. I was in Singapore, and it was about ChatGPT, specifically ChatGPT 4.0, and ways that you can use it on the back end, doing things like API calls to automate a lot of like workflows. And then just last week, I got back for Brew Asia 2025, and it was on AI agents, and the difference between ChatGPT 4.0 and where we're at now is massive. I actually prepared some slides. I don't know if you can.
Should we go number one?
So, yeah,
roll,
sure. Let's
roll number one.
Let's get into it.
Let's
so I'm not going to go through the whole presentation, but I thought like to ground where we're at, it was a good idea to show some of these graphs.
Please.
So this was just the first one, right? So you can go to the next one.
Yep. Bam.
So that's where that first arrow is. That was ChatGPT 4.0 like 12 months ago. That was state of the art.
Yeah.
The people who make this diagram, they're called Meter. And what they're doing is they're trying to sort of measure how fast AI is improving. And the way they did that is the length of tasks that it can complete. So ChatGPT 4.0, 12 months ago, could complete a task that would take a human developer around 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it can complete it like 50% of the time. That was their standard. Like if you can do this 50% correctly, then it passes.
Okay.
12 months later, we have GPT-5 that can now do tasks that take a human developer 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Okay.
Like that is massive.
That's a huge
growth.
jump. Yeah.
And so if you look at the other models, right, that were before then and where we're on, like that looks like a logarithmic curve.
Oh, yeah.
There. So
that's how you want your stock portfolio to look, right?
You wish, right? Hey, if you get agents doing it for you, who knows?
Yes.
So we go to the next slide. This is the rate of progress. And basically their finding is essentially these models are getting twice as good every 7 months.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right? And it kind of follows what we're already been seeing.
Yeah.
And this has been pretty true so far. So in the next 12 months, we should have AI that's not twice as good, but probably 4 times as good as it is right now.
Yeah.
So if you like put that in perspective of like where we're at with the current tech, which is just so incredibly good. And I know there are a lot of people out there who are probably saying like, oh, I tried AI and like it hallucinated on me. It gave me a bad answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it in the trash and never use it again.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I always say is like, what model were you using? You know, when was this? And if it's recent, like things are getting better even from there.
Sure.
So we go, there's another slide there.
Next one, we're on number 4 now. Let's go.
So I really, really like this post on X.
Okay.
This guy's an OpenAI developer.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Take it with a grain of salt, right? These guys are hype boys, but that's okay.
Of course.
And he says that the takeoff, which means hard takeoff, so this idea that we're going to get AI that's improving on itself.
Yeah.
And that's where we reach general intelligence, is just like this logarithmic increase in capabilities.
Okay.
He says that if you're using agents like Codex, which is an AI coding agent from OpenAI, it looks very clear to you, like, yeah, we're on track to get to this hard takeoff. But if you're just using these AI applications on the front end, what I mean, like on your phone,
like
or
what's the best restaurant in town or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the chatbot medium.
Got it.
So if you're using it as a chatbot, meaning like on OpenAI, like, you know, exactly where's like, the closest restaurant or whatever, it probably feels very slow. It probably feels like things haven't moved that much from, say, ChatGPT 4.0 to like ChatGPT 5.
Okay.
Like a lot of people are like, I like 4.0 better or whatever.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, what?
And, you know, it's like, okay, I get it. But I think the use case, the way that it's being used right now is only like tip of the iceberg of its capabilities.
Gotcha.
And that's what really blows me away.
Okay.
And that's where I'm like seeing all of this growth and progress.
Okay.
And being very optimistic about where things are headed.
Okay. Beautiful. Should we keep going?
Yeah,
or
sure.
Just keep going?
We can
Let's
keep
go.
going.
Let's just do the slides first.
I don't want to talk
no,
too much.
Let's do the slides first, and then we can kind of have a nice base for where we're
for where we're going.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is super exciting. It's probably not that clear, but what this is on the far left of these graphs is ChatGPT 4.0.
Okay.
So that's 12 months ago.
Gotcha.
On the far right is Claude 4.5 Sonnet, which kind of came out like, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
And to the left in purple, that's ChatGPT 5. And what each one of these bar graphs represents is they took 3 groups of experts.
Okay.
The first groups of experts across different industries, they created tasks within their industry, so specialized to their industry. Then the second group of experts took that task and they completed it. And at the same time, they gave it to AI models.
Okay.
So tasks designed by experts and then given to experts. And then the third group would grade the results to see which one they preferred.
Yep.
Do I like the experts, the human experts? Or do I like the AI?
Okay.
And what they found from this graph is essentially where we are now is AI is already near human parity.
Okay.
With achieving these tasks.
We're expert parity, kind of.
Pretty much. Across these
yeah.
different industries. So if there's like, you can't really see it, but there's a red dash, and that's the 50% mark.
Oh,
so how often experts would prefer the AI answer versus the human answer.
Okay.
And so if you look at it across all industries, like some of those have like more than others, but some of them they're way over 50%.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So, and this is stuff like health, finance, software development. I think the lowest is like industrial engineering. So okay, it doesn't have good grounding in the physical world. That makes sense.
But it's seeping into almost everything.
But it's
pretty
going
much
to everything. And already, current models, state-of-the-art models, are basically as good as humans at completing tasks.
It's crazy.
So if you take the previous graph, talking about models improving,
Go back.
like
Whoop, sorry. This one.
like 2 to 4, twice every 7 months, doubling
Yeah.
every 7 months. Following that like conclusion, we're basically going to have AI that's able to complete tasks better than humans in the next like 12 to 24 months.
Okay.
Across all industries.
Okay.
Like that's a pretty big deal
That
for
is.
where we're going.
I think that's huge, man.
Yeah.
And then I think that well, some people get, they're scared, like, oh, I'm going to get, my job replaced or whatever. I always think of it as going to be like the super assistant, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, kind of what's your take? Just to cut you off in between there. I don't want to cut you off, but I want to know your opinion
for
on
sure.
that.
So
Like Terminator, all that crazy stuff.
Well, we can get into that too.
Okay.
That's
We'll do that
fun.
later.
That's
Yeah.
fun talk. So these models right now, what we're talking about specifically is tasks.
Yes.
Tasks are not jobs. So you can consider a job as a collection of tasks.
That's
and there's
true.
a whole bunch of tasks that people just don't want to do.
God.
Yeah, right?
Tell me about
I'm talking
it.
about moving data in like Excel. I'm talking about matching bank accounts to payments.
Yeah.
Like, being a shipping and inventory warehouse manager.
Like tedious paperwork.
Tedious paperwork stuff that has no orchestration to it. It's just
Yeah.
a task.
Yeah.
So AI will get there. I'm very confident about that. We'll be
Okay.
able to do the job level, but that's not what this is saying. That's
Okay.
not the research. It's at the task level, there's a lot that we can give over to AI now and for sure in the future to give us humans time to do the other stuff.
The
for our
things that
jobs.
we like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe it will turn into AI's taking jobs for sure. Just what's the timeline on that? Who knows?
I mean, also, it was similar with like kind of like an industrial revolution, right? Like back, when people were trained to go to, work in factories and do the factory jobs, and then kind of robots replaced that.
Yeah.
Then I think they did something else,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a little bit different, as in
Sure.
these are now machines that can think.
Yeah.
I'll put quotes. Think. There are different definitions
of
on
course.
that.
Got it.
But now we're talking about things that can adapt in the future, potentially. New knowledge, new memories. That's not just a cotton machine.
Sure,
this is
of
something
course,
that's
of course.
another level.
Yeah.
And of course, we've never dealt with this before.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, but it's moving so quickly to go back to the doubling every 7 months thing.
It's kind of crazy how fast it's moving, because it's, you start to learn something or you watch a tutorial on something like a year ago and you're like, that's obsolete already.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to, I didn't know 7 months.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I know.
Wow,
I think
wow.
I'm trying to yell it as loud as I can to people.
Yeah.
Like, this is moving so quickly.
Yeah.
But because people are still stuck kind of in that chatbot medium,
Yes.
that's what they see.
Yeah.
And so they don't feel that 7 months, because to them it's like, 4 is kind of like 5. You're like, you're not using this agentically.
Yeah.
You're not seeing what it can do.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
What do you think? How do you think like sort of the average person should kind of dive into it and check it out?
Okay, first, I think at the initial level, if you're not using it to build any code, if you're
Okay.
not using it to code anything, you've already lost like so much of its capabilities.
Okay,
Because if you
okay.
think about it, if you can code any application that you need for your business,
That's amazing.
that's amazing. You're not paying for a service anymore. You just
Yeah.
built it yourself.
Yeah.
And so every day what I'm doing is I'm building stuff for my business, for Redpoint,
Yeah.
to automate or to streamline data in a way that's like very easy for our team to work with,
Okay.
or for AI agents to work with. So if you're not coding, like, build yourself something small.
Build
it could
it
be
small.
like it'd be like a hello world in Python. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
But then
okay.
you'd be like, oh man, that was actually really easy.
Okay.
Now I can go to the next level. Now I can like put something into a database. Now
Okay.
I can make API calls and have an agent reference the database and say, I can use this data for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there's right now, I think people are a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah,
With like,
right.
Claude and ChatGPT
Sure.
and Gemini and Grok and Perplexity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what's your suggestion for sort of someone who wants to get into something like that? To be like, I need to learn one. Or do you have to learn them all? Or are they the same thing? Or shoot.
I use them all.
Yeah, I know. But you're
each-
not going to be the average guy. But
I know,
yes,
I know,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
Because each model, as of right now, has its own like little niche that it's really good at.
Got it.
Gemini 2.5 is awesome at OCR, at being able to like take a picture and then bring things out of it.
Okay.
GPT-5 is exceptional at instruction following. If you tell it to do something, it'll do it. Claude is considered one of the best coding models, and I think GPT-5 gives it a run for its money. I prefer 5.
Okay.
But you know that becomes like a flavor thing. Like
Okay. Yeah. Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So it really depends. I will make the prediction that I think Gemini 3 is going to be absolutely like incredible.
Okay.
And that'll come out. Who knows? Some people said this week.
Oh, wow.
Some people say by December.
Okay.
But I think the next level of what these things can do is going to be Google. I think Google has all of the infrastructure.
Yeah.
They have the roster, the depth of talent. Like they have the GPUs.
Yeah.
They can do some amazing stuff. But people are just used to using ChatGPT.
But I think they don't just have that. They have the information.
Dude.
They have all of the information on the internet. Like I know that Microsoft and Bing and all that stuff, that's, you know, with ChatGPT, but I think that that's still like 5%, you know, if searching, how many people search on Bing? Like nobody, right?
Yeah.
So I think Google's in the 95th percentile or something for search.
Yep.
So they've got all the info, they've got pretty much everything. So if there was like a kind of like a war of all this stuff, of, you know, like you have to choose one, would you start with Gemini, or what would you do? That's tough to choose. I know.
It is tough to choose.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
which one of it's your favorite kid?
Your favorite kid.
You can't pick.
Gotcha.
But honestly, I move from model to model depending on who's the best at the time.
Okay.
So the tools that I use, I think, are a little bit different than what your normal user is using.
Got it. Yeah. Sure.
I'm primarily using it on the back end.
Okay.
And that means that I'm not using it as a chatbot.
Gotcha.
What I'm doing is I'm using something that came out only recently called a CLI.
Okay.
And if you're not familiar with the CLI, like, now is the time.
Now's the time. The CLI.
Yeah. This was like, came out in February as like a alpha, beta sort of thing.
Got it.
They were testing it.
Yeah.
But it really came out about 5 months ago. And what it's doing is you're allowing a AI to take control of your computer locally to execute code and tasks for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I
didn't even know that existed.
Many people don't.
Okay.
And your subscription that you pay for Claude or for OpenAI actually includes this package.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I pay for ChatGPT.
Right, and I pay $500
Do you have all
a
of
month.
them? Okay, I was going to say you have all of
$500
them.
a month.
That's awesome.
To get this, because the value is just unbelievable. Because essentially what you do is you have an agent there that's able to write code, execute code, and if it runs into a problem or something that doesn't know how to do, it will modify its behavior or it'll modify the code directly on your computer. So there's so much that you can do. And the thing
it's
is,
almost like self-sustainable kind of.
100%.
Right?
And so when people, like that slide that I showed about Codex, when you start using this stuff, the developer one.
This one. First one. My bad.
No, keep going that way, other way.
This one. No. This one.
Yeah,
no.
That's the one. So this is what he's talking about, Codex.
So yes.
Codex is the OpenAI CLI.
Okay, gotcha.
And like, it is such a different way to be able to use AI because it's essentially running on your computer, access to your files, access to your folders, access to the internet.
Okay.
It can run websites, with the right tooling.
Really?
So what you have done is you've essentially turned your local computer into like an AI powerhouse that can build for you and just build.
And do you need to have like a supercomputer or something? Just like a regular?
No, actually it runs, it's a very lightweight package. So all the compute is still happening on their servers.
On their servers.
They're just returning it back to you.
Okay. So you're saying that you have like the pro version of Claude and pro version of Gemini and the pro version of ChatGPT.
Not Gemini yet, but OpenAI and Claude, yeah.
Wow.
And the reason is because they monitor your token usage. So the more that you use it, they'll cut you off and say, hey, you've used already 5 hours worth or your week's worth in the case of Codex. And so if you're using it like intensely, that means that you've already gone through a week's worth of tokens. So that's why it's worth that money.
Okay.
But like to give you an example, I had Codex running for 30 minutes to refactor an entire code base for me, move it from PHP, HTML into React and Python.
Okay.
And like it was able to do that in one shot. Like 30 minutes of pure work to complete something for me while I went off and like I'll have like 4 or 5 of them doing different stuff.
That's crazy.
In a cycle.
Well, I'm gonna have to come and look at your stuff one day,
Dude,
man. If that's cool.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can go to the next slide.
Yeah. Let's have a look here.
Yeah.
So let's go here. Bam. Oh, there we go. Skip this one for now.
For now, yeah, we can talk about that later.
That's what I was looking for. There you go.
So this is super cool, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So this is a PLC that we run at our brewery at Redpoint, and it controls half of our fermenters. It's coded in ladder logic, and it was coded by my business partner. Very impressive that he can do ladder logic and code something like that.
Got it.
I have no background or ability to do that. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to pull off all the information from this PLC onto a computer so I could put it into a database. And then from a database, I could build a website on top of it that I can control this computer from anywhere.
Okay.
And I could like send myself an email to say, hey, the fermenter's too hot, or this was the fermentation
like some notification ping, like, hey.
Totally, yeah.
Got it.
What part of it is like creating a notification and QC system.
Got it. Okay.
But to do that would have taken weeks and weeks, if not months, of like research to do something like that.
Yeah.
So that red arrow there is pointing to an Ethernet cable that's connected to the PLC.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Right?
Wow.
And so instead of doing anything else, I took all of the documentation for this PLC, I took my partner's code, and I put it into a folder. And I said, Claude, you figure it out.
Okay.
And that's what it did.
And it did.
It used my computer to go onto the network.
Okay.
So not just from my local computer, it went onto the network to access that PLC, and it kept writing code to see how do I talk to this thing.
Wow,
and so
it just kept testing.
It kept testing
Wow.
it. It learned the protocol from the documentation.
Holy cow.
And then I was able to access all the coils and registers to the PLC and then build a website on top of it. Took me about a day, roughly.
That's crazy.
Of like back and forth to build this thing.
Okay.
That would have taken a professional engineer a long time.
A freaking year
to
at
complete.
least, probably, right?
So an AI was able to use my computer to interface with another computer and create an entire application based on it, just through like me throwing the documentation at it and like giving it some hints.
That's crazy.
It's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah.
I've seen like these clips of like AIs kind of talking to each other. Like I'm this guy's assistant. I'm this guy's assistant, and then it's like I don't know if it's real. You probably know.
Yeah.
Is that
stuff
bull or what?
No. You can do that.
Where it'll be like, hey, we're both AI. Let's speak our own language.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That's bull, right?
I think that one. Was,
okay, because I was like, what is this?
That's
This
kind
is
of a cool
crazy.
idea. I mean, that's probably where we're heading. But
not there yet. Okay, gotcha.
It is one of like the things of like, if AI gets away from us, is if it creates its own language to talk to itself.
That's why I was
that's actually
freaking
one
out.
of the. It's one of the like kill switch. Rubric is like, are they talking to us to themselves and we don't know? So who knows?
They're plotting. They're plotting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. There's that one. I wanted to I wanted to look at this.
Okay, actually, just go to the slide before that because it makes a bit more sense.
Okay.
So, if you're just using it as a chatbot, my guess would be you've never heard this term called Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. This stuff is literally like running the AI ecosystem right now.
Okay.
And again, it's like if you're just using AI as a chatbot, you maybe have heard of MCP, maybe you know how to connect it to Claude or something.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's essentially what it is a standardization for the ways that AIs can communicate to like third-party services or services that you set up on your computer. So what does that mean? An example is like your accounting system. Imagine your agent lives on your computer and you have an accounting system that's like a third-party service somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah, wow.
What you want to do is you be able to connect your agent to the third-party service.
Yeah.
So instead of having to go onto your accounting system, you can just tell your agent, cut an invoice. Does this person owe me? Move from bank payments and insert it to my accounting system. And I don't have to log on the website. I can just tell the agent to do it for me.
That's amazing.
So it's becoming what I call as a digital employee.
Yeah.
Because it's having access to all of our company's data to be able to do something with it. So, for example, you can give it access to email. You can give it access to Line or Telegram.
Right, with the Line, that's what you're doing, right? Like that's how I order my beer, right?
Well, sort of. I created like a page. That's more static.
That's a different thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like what you can do is through MCPs, you can have your AI assistant or agent be connected to every single digital service that has backend, so that has an API, through an MCP. And all of that can be created by the agents themselves. So you can tell your agent, hey, connect to all these different services for me. And now you can just talk to your agent rather than having to, like, hey, did we send out beer today? You ask your agent, you don't go to your shipping database anymore.
Okay. That's crazy, because sometimes even the line will be like, hey, according to our, whatever calculations, you've got 2 empties. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's...
Because it's always people messaging me like, how many empties we got over there? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not at the restaurant. Yeah.
So, I mean, that sort of stuff is obviously I built it with the coding agent.
Sure.
Right? And that's just simple automation.
That's already pretty impressive.
It just checks the database and says, this is how many kegs that we have at your location, right?
Which is great, yeah.
But what we're talking about now is a dynamic agent that has access to all of these services. So, for example, I could say, hey, did we send out beer and did they pay for it?
Okay.
So first thing it'll check is our shipping. Then it'll check our accounting. And then it'll check the bank account if I want to give it access to that, right?
Yeah.
And like it can collate all those things as like a digital or like a administrative assistant would do.
Yeah.
And that's where we're already at.
That's where we're
now.
there. We're there already.
And so imagine the next 12, 24 months. You're talking about not just assistants, but like value generating employees that have connection to all of your stuff.
Oh man.
And so that's where we are now with these systems. But people are just like, they're still using it as a chatbot and not as an agent, so they can't see these systemic level changes that are happening.
That to me sounds like a huge business opportunity, right? It must be, right?
Well, for sure. I mean, that's why you have this whole term called vibe coding.
Okay,
and,
yes.
You've heard that,
I know
right?
vibe coding,
and so all these people who are building
Cursor
apps
and stuff,
because they're able to build their own software so quickly, is now they're putting out all these ideas, and some of them are like not great.
Sure, of course.
But some of them solve real business use cases. Now, my response is, if you're able to use these agents, just build it yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. Okay.
But
again, most people don't know what you know.
Right? But here I am trying to shout it out, be like, guys,
sure.
like, use one of these CLIs to build your own little program, and then you just see like, wow, that was amazing.
Okay.
But the next phase of all of this is access to private or garden data. So that means that like industrial experts who have all of their data behind in their own databases or whatever, all their knowledge, can build these agents on top of the knowledge and then create a service that's like an expert at that thing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So what most of AI companies doing now is they're hiring experts to train their models to try and get that knowledge in there.
Got it.
But private companies should be scrambling, and some are, to create these services to be like, I am your expert in this. I have this data for this, and that's real value right there.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I'm like, ooh, okay, that's a lot.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
I get
it's
so
good.
excited about this stuff because
actually,
it's the future of the economy.
I actually am too. Like I said, I was doing the SEO stuff, and I'm doing stuff with my daughter, the AI stuff, and it's good. Like ChatGPT helps her with her homework if she needs help.
Sure.
She'll snap a picture and say, explain this to me, and it'll break it down in her kind of verbiage and stuff, which is it's been pretty awesome.
Totally,
man. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I mean, the way that I see stuff like that is, and who knows if society will accept things like this.
Yeah.
But each kid could have their own AI that's specifically attuned to the way that child learns.
Yeah, I think that's what. I mean, like I said, I'm working on that. So we have like custom GPTs and stuff for her learning and stuff. And I mean, I taught before and stuff. And let's say you have 25 people in a class, and basically you kind of have to take care of like the middle 15, because like the kids that are too smart, they're bored,
right?
Because they're like, this is too easy, blah blah blah. But you can't focus on them because they're like the exception. And then the 5 kids or whatever on the bottom that are like, I'm lost, I don't know what's going on. You try to help them, but you can't help 5 people by neglecting 25, right? So it's tough. I think that's the way to do it, man.
Well, I mean, there's so much distrust for AI, and I understand it.
Sure.
I mean, there's the hallucination problems. There's the whole training data problem. It makes up stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone has. Yeah. And that's not only is it like a short-term problem, because there's so much money being poured into this stuff right now.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's crazy.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It is massive. I'm not going to talk about bubble or anything like that. That's not what like I'm not too concerned about that, like whatever
Gotcha.
happens, because
Yeah.
this infrastructure is being built.
It's there.
It's
Yeah.
there, and,
Yeah.
it will continue to be there.
Yeah.
And so I think increased efficiencies in algorithms,
Yeah.
model training, all this stuff is going to be absolutely incredible in the next couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody wanted to learn to dive into like the CLI
Yeah.
thing, well, what's the best way?
I mean, just
Just go
look
on
it up.
YouTube
Yeah,
or just Google
YouTube
it,
has
or-
plenty. YouTube has plenty. I mean, if you're paying for ChatGPT, just like search Codex. Right?
Okay.
And it runs out of your command terminal, which is super intimidating because it's just like a black
yeah,
box.
I've seen that.
And it
Yeah,
looks like
yeah,
MS
yeah.
DOS, right?
I know. I remember. You remember MS DOS? Wow.
Dude,
okay.
yeah. So
that's
but
crazy.
I love that the most advanced way to talk to an AI right now,
Yeah.
at least us normies who aren't in
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
labs,
Yeah.
is through your command terminal.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just is, and it can run your computer for you, with guardrails. Like these things could delete your C drive if they wanted to.
Okay,
Like
okay.
they come with guardrails, but if you take those off,
Yeah.
like you are running that risk.
Okay.
So be smart.
Got it.
But
Yeah.
like, if you start to play around with this sort of stuff, so quickly you can see like, wow,
Okay.
one, how smart they are.
Okay.
Two, how they can understand how to complete a task for you, like building a website, building a program,
Okay.
inserting data into a database, and then using that data to help you run your business.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
I think that's the main thing, because I know, how can I put it? Like I love diving into this stuff, but most, like the average small business person, like yourself, you know it. You're great at it, but you're not the average guy. But I know most
think
people
it's
that
a
I know.
mindset, man. That's
a
a
lot of
mindset.
people that I talk to about it, they're just like, they'd rather outsource it.
Sure. I mean, build it or buy it, right? So
Yeah. So, like I'm saying, it sounds like a pretty good opportunity for somebody who's kind of ahead of the game. Like you see on YouTube, people are making, I don't know how real it is, but they're doing, I automate my business, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
it obviously sounds appealing, especially to somebody who's been doing this for a long time. Obviously, it's not going to make dough, but it could do all the paperwork, right?
Oh, it's-
hopefully.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
I have it, do audits on our shipping all the time.
Okay,
Like, did we
okay.
ship everything? Was everything correct? Did it match
Okay.
the orders? All that sort of stuff that used to take a person going through line by line.
Yeah.
But now I just give it the task and I walk away, and it has access to an email.
Yeah.
So it can send me an email when it's done with its analysis.
Got it.
Like, it's an employee.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, man, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
So if you go to the
go
next
to-
couple slides
where are we
there,
at here?
so
This
this
one?
one.
Yeah.
So this is a device that we built at Redpoint that carbonates our beer overnight. It's
Okay.
simple automation. The algorithms we run are pretty complicated, but
Yeah.
it has reduced our, incorrect carbonation. We basically don't do that anymore.
Okay,
That was
okay.
early day problems.
Yeah.
But what I've done is I've connected our assistant into our network, which means that through an MCP, it can control this device for me.
Wow,
So instead
okay.
of me getting on and saying, carbonate to this, I can send it a text message, and it
Okay.
receives that, understands in natural language what it needs to do
Okay.
to actually physically interact with our
Okay,
brewing
wow,
equipment. So it
okay.
can turn on and off valves, it can check temperatures, it can check pressures, it could make
Okay.
adjustments if necessary. So
Oh,
now
wow.
we're talking about a brewery.
Physical stuff.
Physical stuff.
Wow,
Because
okay.
because it's on our network, we can have an AI control those valves and settings.
So it can make dough eventually. Hopefully.
I mean,
Maybe we'll see.
I
That'd
mean,
be good. That'd be nice.
Still,
Yeah.
it's in the
Yeah, yeah,
assistant
yeah.
phase.
Of course.
So it's
yeah.
a human who's doing the interaction.
Okay.
But like we're talking about, we could have an AI running the brewery, this part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, breweries, it's not that much that goes into making decisions. So simple automation still works. But when there's a problem,
Okay.
imagine an AI is the first one to try and interact with the problem
And-
to say,
yeah.
maybe we have a blocked valve. I'm going to open it a couple times. Does that work?
Okay.
We're getting to that level.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
isn't that cool?
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons I wanted to get you on, because I don't know anyone else that's actually this deep in AI.
I love this
It's
stuff.
crazy, man.
I love this
that.
stuff.
And you get invited to speak at how
Sure.
is the reaction? Because I think that the average person would love to have this, but has no idea how to do this.
Most people is I didn't know we were at that stage.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's why I'm trying to tell people is this is moving far quicker than I think you realize.
Okay.
Now, of course, there are people in Taiwan working in AI labs or
Got it.
making the GPUs. They get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like the most people who are just like, I use ChatGPT to help, like, I don't know,
Find a restaurant. Yeah.
That's my interaction with it, and that's all I know that it can do.
How do you feel when someone tells you that?
Oh,
you're like, oh god.
It's usually like, oh, I like to use it to make taglines on my Facebook for marketing. And
Yeah.
I get that totally.
Yeah.
There's use there.
Yeah.
But the use cases and the intelligence of these models is way deeper. Than just that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is cool. Well, let's get the last picture out of there too, because that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. All right. So I put this up on Reddit, and it was a competition called Built with Claude.
Got it.
And they were trying to find projects that were using Claude in a unique way, using their CLI in a unique way.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got a honorable mention, so I didn't win it, but I was in the top couple.
Yeah.
And what I did is I built a microgreen farm, like a very mini farm, completely controlled by an AI.
Okay.
So it had access to a camera, it had access to pumps, a moisture sensor, and a float switch. And what it would do is it would time when it needs to water the microgreens, and then monitor the growth of the microgreens to see if it was doing it too much or needed more or whatever.
Wow.
And then it would schedule for itself the next time it wanted to water the greens. And so it's essentially an automated farm controlled by an AI.
That's crazy.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Because I mean, if you can do it with a little farm, you could maybe do it with a big one, right?
This was a proof of concept.
Right?
It was a proof of concept about how far we could push these things.
Yeah.
And given the economics currently, it doesn't really make sense. Given the requirements currently, it still doesn't make sense. But in the next couple of years, as these things get smarter and cheaper, you're going to have AIs that are on 24/7 watching these sort of facilities and growing stuff, building stuff for us. Like that's where we're heading.
Okay. I think it's great because I know there's a lot of farmers that, first of all, it's hard to find people to work, right? And second of all, it's a lot of work. Right, so if there's AI that can do that, that's crazy, man. Wow, I didn't even know it. I went through that's really cool.
Yeah.
Are there any talk to me some of the stuff a little bit more about what's automated by AI in the brewery?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I kind of separate it between workflows and agents.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with a workflow which uses AI to accomplish tasks for us.
Okay.
So the first thing that I decided to work on, because I thought it was such an obvious one, was orders that would come to our brewery by email.
Okay.
So what is so, and this is, it was one of our jobs to take this order and insert it into our accounting system, which would then flow into our shipping system. And boy, we'd make mistakes all the time.
Sure, human error,
Human
right?
error, man. We said 3 kegs instead of 1. We said the wrong type. We said bottles instead of kegs. And there's this whole cycle of sorry, that's our bad. You gotta go.
And then if it's the wrong customer, they want some freebies or something,
and
right?
It's we only send, or if it's by carry or logistics company. Now we're talking to moving to Kaohsiung somehow to get it back. And I was like, all right, something that can understand natural human language and our SKUs, so the different product SKUs that we have, could easily combine these two, understand the human language, take our SKUs, and then insert it into our database using machine language, like a SQL query.
Got it.
And that, just by applying that, so every time an email comes in, it fires up and it says, hey, is this an order? If it's an order, I'm going to go to the order agent. The order agent knows all of our SKUs, knows which customer this email is attached to, and then we'll take the order and then put it into a database, and then we'll ship it out the next day. That has reduced our human error by so much.
Is there still error? I mean, there must be something. Does AI must make mistakes? It doesn't?
It doesn't. I still review it. So that's called human in the loop.
Got it.
I still review it before it goes out.
Okay.
Mostly because the people make a mistake in ordering things.
Got it.
They're asking for something that we can't do, or it's a beer that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, the AI can watch for that. That's fine.
Sure. Okay.
But those little corner cases is kind of where I'm
of
at,
course. Wow.
So it's less that the AI doesn't the AI is not getting it wrong anymore.
So you're kind of like overseeing things,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
instead of being in it, you're kind
Sure.
of like, I'm overseeing things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I could probably take myself out of the loop, but I'm just kind of used to it.
Yeah.
It's you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot, man. Okay. Is there what was one of the biggest challenges for you, like early on with AI?
Yeah.
Was there any?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
for sure. So one of the biggest problems, and you still run into this now, is these models are typically trained on data that's like 6 months to a year old.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of these new features only have libraries or modules or whatever in their code
Got
that's
it.
within the last 6 months.
Okay.
So already the agent or the AI doesn't know about the code that you're trying to work with.
Gotcha.
And so especially early days, it was very difficult to try and code things for AI because the AI didn't know how to code for AI.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now there are ways of reminding it or sending it to the latest documentation. Where it'd be
Okay.
like, okay, this came out yesterday or it came out with an update. I understand how to figure this in now.
Okay.
So that was a beginning problem.
Okay.
And as these things get more powerful and the ecosystem grows, that sort of stuff's going to be easier.
Okay, okay.
But it's teething. It's still early tech.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, as like a regular business, let's say like myself, as a regular business owner, small business owner, what's a good first step that you think that we should go into?
Okay. What is your biggest pain point?
Shoot, there's so many.
There's so many.
Oh my God.
F&B is
Oh
a
my
hard
God. Oh my
business, man.
gosh, there's
Hard.
so many.
So as a brewery,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
like a factory, right?
Yeah,
Which means
sure.
that things follow a process. Like
Yeah.
it is a really good place to apply AI because
Okay.
the stuff that happens like outside the process, it happens, but
Okay.
it's all pretty manageable.
Okay.
F&B, like what you're running,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that can. I mean,
There's
there's
a lot
still
of little
processes,
fires.
but
Yeah,
there's a lot
yeah.
of little fires. I
Well,
understand.
like for example, we pay a company for reservation system.
Okay.
You could. I mean, it sounds like you could just make
for
your
sure,
own,
dude.
right?
That sort of stuff
You just
algorithmically.
send a link out to somebody and they're like,
Totally.
use this to reserve, and then it
100%.
pops up and it pops into our app or whatever.
Yep.
That's doable.
And you can do it, and you can customize it, and you could, have it send out emails and line messages, whatever you want.
Okay.
So that's the
Okay.
power of being able to build this stuff now.
Yeah.
Is that you don't need to rely on a knowledge of other workers. You can
Yeah.
actually do it yourself.
Okay.
Now getting there takes a couple months,
Sure,
trial
of
and
course,
error. It's
of
not.
course.
It's not like just do it for me.
It's not
Thanks.
like off and on
Not
switch. Okay.
yet.
Yet.
That's coming.
That's coming.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
And that might be maybe a year or two out.
Okay.
Where it's like you just like ask your phone to build you a custom application and it'll just
Okay.
show up.
So like the vibe coding thing, that's kind of what that's where
Sure.
that's coming in,
Yeah,
right? Where you
yeah.
you talk, because the average person doesn't know how to code.
Yep.
I remember I watched a speech with Jensen Huang a while back, and I can't remember how many years ago, but he's like,
Yeah.
get your kids in coding, and then he's just like, well, you don't have to code anymore because AI is going to do it all.
I mean, is
that true?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
I think I forgot who said it, but like English is the most powerful coding language now.
Okay. Oh wow,
Yeah,
that
right?
makes sense.
And
Okay.
it does because I'm building stuff every day. I don't look at a line of code anymore. I orchestrate it. I say, okay, what sort of different modules, what sort of services do I need to bring in?
Okay.
And I just tell the AI to go do it, and then to
Okay.
test it for me. And then, of course, and the very last step,
Okay.
make sure that the flow works.
Okay.
But
And so that's all with the CLI thing.
Yep,
Or
it's all with CLIs
Well, I
now.
got to look at that.
that, dude,
Okay,
it's
okay.
this is next level stuff.
Wow. Okay. Because we were talking about N8N, and you're like, that's nothing.
Yeah,
compared
because
to
I mean,
this.
NA, all this stuff is like, that's all front end. So
Okay.
anything that's drag and drop right now, and this
Yeah.
stuff's going to get better,
Yeah.
is trying to make it feel like approachable.
Okay.
And anything that feels approachable is going to have limitations,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
right?
Okay.
So the
Yeah,
real
yeah.
power is to be able to like customize for yourself
Yeah.
any of these things that you want.
Okay. It's like when when you're a kid and you're cooking with your mom, and your mom does all the hard stuff and lets you finish it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
She's like, hey, you made it.
You made
It's
it.
Good
Good for you.
job. You made a chocolate cake from scratch.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Now-
And you're like, what? That was easy.
That was easy. Now before I
too
go
funny.
too far down this,
Yeah,
I know there are a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of people who are like professional developers, right?
That's-
and,
yeah.
And many of them are using these like CLI tools, and there's still limitations.
Sure.
Like, you can't just let it go on your code base and just like go wild if it's like thousands and thousands of lines. This
Okay.
is true. But if we're talking about small custom built apps for your business,
Yeah.
not necessarily like customer facing. Like what
Okay.
I mean is like people pay subscription for it.
Sure.
That's where this stuff is really powerful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like it would, when people talk about replacing jobs, it sounds like it would replace like the low level, like the assistant, or like when you watch a movie or whatever, someone wants to get into an office job, or then the very very
the
low level, the mail room or whatever. It sounds like that would be replaced.
For sure.
Interesting.
The way that I look at it right now is augmentation. You are augmenting your current skill set, and the more that you know, the more you can produce with it.
Okay.
So like it's going to be super intimidating to just like try. You're not going to be able to like just get going with it.
Yeah.
It does take blocks to build.
Sure.
But like the universe of what you can build is just getting bigger and bigger.
And then so just again back to that same question. So somebody who I have no idea about CLI. So to get into that, I've got GPT Plus already.
Yep.
You just go in and say,
teach me how to use Codex.
Teach me how to use Codex. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
There you go. And it's probably going to tell you how to do it wrong.
Okay.
Because this is so new that the documentation's a little bit. It's going to find the wrong documentation.
Okay.
But just keep at it.
At least know what's there.
At least know it's there.
I didn't even know that was there.
I know. And it comes with your subscription. So that's what I paid most of the money for is access to essentially tokens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Because I'm always thinking, all the tedious stuff, that's got to be replaced. And, there's a lot of things like our POS system, like that's,
yeah.
I think that all of that stuff could be, they give us a really horrible service, man. And I'm just like, can you guys do this for me? And they're like, no. And then I've had to send people down for them to teach my guys how to fix the system.
Yep.
And then they'll get like some young dude who knows how to do it, but has zero communication skills. And they'll just like blast through you. If like my wife would go, she'll like ask a question and they're like, we're not having questions right now. And then they'll just kind of like blast you with it. And I'm just like, wow, I'm glad I didn't go. Because I would have threw that guy off the roof. Yeah, I'm like, are you serious? Come on. We've been paying for your service for so many years. But I think that we actually have our own online ordering system, and I'm trying to take that and kind of move that into, something kind of AI where we can kind of be self-sufficient a little bit. That'd be great.
Well, I mean, it'll take a couple of weekends to get used to it.
Yeah.
And you can run into a lot of problems, like error this, missing that. But like the stuff that you can build once you get a handle of it, a handle on it.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. People are giving you poor service.
God, and there's only two companies, and one is it's like Dumb and Dumber. Those are the two options, and you're like, dude.
That type of company, they're gonna have a limited life in the future, because if people are able to access these things and build it, basically, in the future, it's going to be just going to talk to it.
Okay.
And be able to build it on the go, connect to all these different services, and you have something completely customized for your business that you can change.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's 100% where we're going.
Okay.
How long is it going to take? I don't know, but I don't think it's like 5 years. I think it's probably like 2 or 3.
Okay, and I'm not trying to badmouth these companies, but it's just like sometimes when you give really bad service, I don't want to support this company anymore.
Yeah.
If they're kind of treating my guys like shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? I'm actually paying you to be shitting all over my guy. That's crazy.
They think your business is secure.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
They know you're already in their ecosystem.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me do some rapid fire here.
Sure,
How about
bring
that?
it.
Yeah, let's get some rapid fire going on here. All right, what's the first word that comes to your mind when you think AI? When someone says AI, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Next generation.
Okay, next generation. The voice of a new generation.
Yeah.
All right, okay. What's one task you'll never trust AI with? Is there a task?
Human relationships, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
And
I
want to expand on that is like, the vision that I have going forward is that AI is going to take over all the stuff that we as humans don't want to do.
I love it.
And it'll give us more time to be human, drink beers and hang out and do the fun, creative stuff that we enjoy.
Yep.
Because the grind of just looking at spreadsheets and all that, that's not what we're built for, man. That's not what humans like. No.
I agree. Do you think that it'll ever get to? You watch like that show WALL-E?
Yeah.
Remember that one? What do you think of that?
People bring that up all the time.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was being smart. But okay.
No, because like they see.
Do you think
it'll
ever get to that point where people are just slopping around and floating pads?
Why do people go off and like paint on the weekends? You know,
they love it. Yeah.
Why is Linux as an operating system even around? Is because people enjoyed building
True.
an open source thing. So people will always want to build, explore. Like that's just how we're hardwired. But some people just want to relax and like play video games.
Sure.
You know, like, but is that a bad thing? Like
I think people will be happier, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think our quality of life is going to get very good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
After a transition phase of some suck.
Yeah. Is there one thing humans will, I think you answered it, will always do better than AI?
Yeah, just being human.
Being human.
We're always going to be better at being human.
Yeah, communications and stuff, right?
Yeah.
No, not really?
No,
Communication is tough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that people
Actually,
feel
yeah.
more comfortable talking to an AI than other humans sometimes.
You know, it's tough because I know, like, in this business, you have to have, like, super sharp communication skills, right? But you meet people that come in, let's say interviewing for a job or just different, things. And just the community, even some of the young guys coming up, applying for jobs, they come in with their friends and they can they sit with me while I write, while I fill out my application? And you're like, oh my gosh, right? It's tough.
Yeah. I mean,
that's crazy.
So I will say that I think that AI is pretty much going to be better at humans at nearly everything.
Better being okay.
But and in very quickly.
Okay.
It's going to happen very quickly.
Okay.
But we're always, I hope, going to have a space.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And it's
no Terminator.
So that's what it's called, your P doom number.
Okay.
What's your P doom number? Is like, what are the chances that AI is going to kill us all?
Okay.
Definitely not zero for me.
Not zero.
I think it's there, but I think the likelihood is low. And if you talk to most of the experts, they'll agree.
Okay.
Is it something we need to be aware of? Absolutely. Because if we hit hard takeoff and it's a hard takeoff that's not well controlled or with the right parameters, it's not going to be fun.
Okay.
And that might happen in the next couple of years.
There's those robotics, right? Like those the dogs that flip around and the robots and stuff like that.
So,
that's kind of creepy a little bit, no?
On that topic, have you heard of Genie 3?
I have not, no.
Dude, if you get a chance, Google Genie 3.
Okay.
Built by Google. It's a Google product.
Gotcha.
And this came out like last month.
Okay.
And Genie 3 is it creates virtual worlds through an LLM on demand. So what we're talking about is the next generation of video games are basically going to be created by an AI. As you walk through the world, it's going to create it for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it has memory. So if you paint on a wall, for example, it'll remember what you painted. And the fidelity is amazing already. So why am I saying this? Is because what we're able to do now, we, humans, but these companies who are training robots can now put a robot into a virtual world and have it do 10,000 years of training in a couple hours.
Oh, shoot.
Right?
Is that good?
Yeah. Well, it is because a robot, if I pick up a glass, what happens?
Yeah.
In this virtual world, I've learned about it. In the real world, it takes actual time for it to learn.
Got it.
And so
that makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
Like a hyperbolic time chamber.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so now all these robots are going through this type of machine learning in virtual environments that are very close to the real world.
Okay.
And so when you talk about that, there's going to be an explosion in robotics powered by probably LLMs or whatever we have when they come out in the next couple of years.
Okay.
So the physical part of work is also going to change.
Okay.
And I don't know, I'm not in the field, right? But maybe 5-10 years, we'll have robots that are able to work in a brewery, work at a restaurant.
Okay.
Right now it looks kind of jittery.
Sounds cool. Yeah, sure.
That's 100% coming too.
Just touching on that, like we actually, like I said, we still don't have the QR code menu thing because I'm trying to keep things, like people come in, they have a chat, they have a beer, but the QR code is probably inevitable, right? The QR code ordering.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And we actually tried to get, some robots, like delivery robots, right? And they're just, when we had like a demo in and we met some of the developers and stuff, they're still way behind.
Yep.
Like it's just like a stool moving around on wheels and it's shaky. And if it spills your beer, is whose fault is it?
Right. Yeah.
It's
Who
my
ran
fault.
into it? Yes.
Yeah. And if, the gate opens and a customer has to grab their own plate and they burn themselves, whose fault is it? Mm-hmm. Right. It's my fault. Right. It's my fault. So yeah, I mean, they were really, like, hey, let's try it. But I think it's not good enough yet, but I think eventually, if it gets arms, if it can kind of like put things on a table, if it can take a hot plate and put it there and be like, it's hot, don't touch the plate. That That would be huge for a restaurant. Yeah.
So already you have,
Yeah.
I think the company's called Figment, I believe.
Okay.
And they have robots that are already working in car factories in Germany.
Okay.
You know, you have Tesla with Optimus, and
Yeah.
you know, if you look at the videos, like the last one that got released is like an Optimus building an Optimus, and you can see it's all like jittery.
Yeah,
still.
sure.
But I mean, that's just. And I say just again, this stuff
Yeah.
is incredibly difficult.
Got it. Yeah.
But some of the robots that are coming out now that have gone through this machine learning in virtual worlds,
Yep.
they're far more precise.
Okay.
And because they've been able to teach themselves the exact ways
It's
in which they
improving
interact,
fast.
it's improving fast.
Yeah.
And so that's right now AI is like on its already trajectory, and then
Okay.
robotics is going to be the next one.
Nice.
It's
okay.
my prediction.
Okay. Well, I think, like, yeah, people always say replace jobs, whatever, but I'm trying to find people. It's hard to get people to work.
Yep.
And then the physical stuff, like, again, we make everything. A brewery is pretty physical, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's hard to find people to do, right?
It's hard to find.
Especially now in the era of YouTubers and Instagram
For sure.
influencers and
Yeah,
stuff. It's
yeah.
tough, man. Everybody just wants to run around with a camera and just be like, hey, watch me, you know.
So,
it's crazy.
So here's my question to you.
Do it.
And this is like one of those, like, you know,
I love
mind
questions.
game things. Is if all of the work that we just talked about, digital work, is being done mostly by AI,
Yeah.
and the physical work is being done by robots,
Okay.
what does an economy look like in that situation?
That's tough,
Right?
It's tough. That's the problem because people bring that up, and it's totally valid because they're talking about Amazon replacing I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people.
Totally.
But if nobody's doing anything and everyone's just kind of at home, I mean, well, where's the money?
So that's the next
The
question.
universal income thing, right, or whatever, is that something?
Well,
Like,
the question that I started
why
asking.
would the Amazon guy pay for everyone? Why would he? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. What is money worth after that?
That's the question.
That's the question, right?
And what is it?
What is it? Yeah.
And Sam Altman, again, one of the big hype boys.
I know Sam Altman. Yeah.
He's fun to watch, and I think he's got a lot of great ideas. One of his questions a couple years ago at like a conference was, if I type into ChatGPT, build me a $1 billion company, and it's smart enough to do that. So again,
Okay.
you have to imagine that it's like able to
Sure.
execute it.
Yeah, it's done.
First, who owns the $1 billion?
Okay,
Is
wow.
it the AI company? Is it the AI itself? Also possible.
Okay.
AI is in crypto. I don't know if you've seen this, but AIs that
I've
have
seen
their
some.
own,
Yeah,
their own
yeah.
crypto wallets.
Yeah,
That's another AIs that are paying people to do stuff for them, who are hiring people.
Oh, I didn't
using
know
crypto.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It starts to get real weird real quick.
Okay.
And the third is like, is it the person who asked the AI to come up with $1 billion idea?
Okay.
So what does money even mean in a situation
Yeah.
where you can have an AI that can create things like this?
Yeah.
So of course the first premise is you have to believe that we're heading that way.
Yeah.
I think we
It's
are.
likely, yeah.
It's
If
likely.
everybody's replaced in everything,
Right.
yeah, then what do we do?
What do we do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man.
So I think these are really important questions that I feel like it's on the fringes still because it feels so weird.
Yeah.
But one of the other things I say is, like, in the 1920s, if you told a guy we're going to go to the moon
Yeah.
in like 40 years,
Sure.
what's he going to tell you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you listen to the big labs, Anthropic, Dario, Demis from Google, like all these guys are saying, we're on that trajectory.
Yeah.
And soon. So, like, if that's the case,
What do
we
we
should
do?
be
Yeah.
talking about this now.
Yeah.
And most people think it's too far away. It's like, no, this is coming. This is coming quick.
Yeah, I don't even
Just
know.
Look at the graph. Doubling every 7
Yeah,
months.
that's
And this
crazy.
This is with stuff with like AI companies right now are strapped for resources. They can only give a portion to research and only a portion to
Okay.
users. They
Okay.
don't have enough resources. So all these data centers are being built, and as they come online, we're going to get more and more powerful output.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
So then that comes to the, again, the Terminator thing, right? Where
Yeah.
when it eventually becomes self-aware, which means I guess AI is able to self-sustain, right? Which is kind of crazy and creepy.
when
and-
that
yeah.
happens, we're talking about
7 months from now,
no,
maybe.
no.
Who knows?
So Anthropic CEO, he says
Yeah.
2 years
Okay.
until we
Jeez.
reach general intelligence, which is
Okay.
basically what he likes to call is like what's his name, like super intelligent AI. I forget his name for it. He has a special word for it.
Okay.
And Google's CEO of DeepMind says 50-50 in the next 5 years to get to general intelligence.
Okay.
And once we hit there, the next step is super intelligence, which is, again, always hard to predict.
Yeah.
But that curve of like a self-improving AI will happen so fast to be like go from where we are now to super intelligence in who knows,
That's
minutes,
crazy.
hours.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. It sounds good. I mean, again, I don't want to be the doomsday guy. I think it's so far. I'm using it. I like it. I'd love it to be able to automate things like better. And I'm going to dive into the CLI stuff, which is awesome because actually. One of the biggest questions was I thought you were using N8N. I'm like, oh, is it N8N? And you're like, that's nothing.
It's nothing. And,
so, okay.
and it's a fancy. So those sort of services
fancy
are
package.
They're called wrappers.
Wrappers, yeah.
They wrap around the model, and it's like, okay, just take the wrapper off and use the model.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
the middleman. Just cut the middleman.
And the hard part is like actually getting it to do it and like iterate on it, and it takes some time.
But it's doable.
Like, it's totally doable.
Okay.
Just be careful with it because it is
Of
powerful.
course.
It's powerful stuff.
Sure. Okay. Any AI crossover beers, any AI themed beers coming up, or is that just kind of your thing? Or?
So like the beer part of this for Redpoint, everything that we've focused on so far is like the admin part, the manufacturing part, the QC stuff that machines do really well.
Gotcha. That's
as
awesome.
Far as like ideas for beers, QC, all that stuff. That's like the human related part. And
ChatGPT collaboration.
No,
No.
I want to keep that part human for us.
Got it.
Because I think that this is a very human experience is having a beer,
of course.
right?
Yeah,
and and the more time that we can sit around, have beers, and just talk,
enjoy your life.
Your life,
yeah.
The better. So that includes also the marketing side. I haven't put a lot of our agents into like the marketing. Like sometimes it'll help me do translations for like putting stuff into line and whatever.
Got it.
We haven't automated much of our marketing, kind of intentionally.
Sure. Yeah. It always has that long M dash thing in it, and
I hate that.
Yeah,
when I see that, because
I know, me too.
What is it? Most is AI slop now.
AI slop.
And
it's the term now. Yeah.
So
it's kind of crazy.
That's not us. Our stuff is like, how can we save us the most time to concentrate on the stuff that we enjoy doing?
Yeah, focus on the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm gonna give you a little verses here.
Okay.
Yeah? So you pick one, right?
Right.
And then we'll just keep going. Winner stays. Yeah.
Might be tough. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we got DeepSeek versus Mistral.
Mistral for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
All right. Mistral.
Yeah. And what are we talking about? Are we talking personal preference, or are we talking about
just
capabilities?
What do you think? Yeah. For you had to choose one.
Mistral.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't even know what that one is. I just went through a list. It's crazy.
I have a buddy who's working with Mistral on some really cool projects.
Okay.
It's not the most powerful model. I haven't used it very much.
Okay.
But it is European compliant.
Okay, that's huge.
So Europe wants to have their own AI.
Thing. Yeah. Their own open AI thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mistral. All right. So Mistral Perplexity.
Perplexity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perplexity versus Claude.
What are we using it for?
Yeah, I mean, for whatever, if you could only choose one.
Definitely Claude. I mean,
there has to be one. There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Yeah,
so here's where this stuff gets fun, right?
Yeah.
Is Perplexity is really good at searching online.
Okay.
Like that's what it's built for. It's excellent at creating like research papers and going out and like doing market research, that sort of stuff. Now, using MCP, which we talked about before, is you can give Claude the ability to use Perplexity to do research for it.
Okay.
Right?
So Claude can outsource.
Claude can outsource. So
Smart.
all these models can outsource to each other the things that they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
it gets real.
Obviously, it's hard to choose one, but it's just for fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Claude versus Gemini.
Claude 4.5?
Yeah, let's go with the highest one.
Yeah,
on
so
both.
I'm still gonna Claude 4.5.
Still Claude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go with the. Let's skip that one. Save that one for last. So let's go Claude, Mid-Journey.
Mid-Journey,
Overrated.
It's cool. It's cool, and I bought some credits and made some fun stuff.
Okay.
But obviously I'm in it for the coding part of it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, we'll keep going with Claude. Claude versus Suno. You got your year membership.
I do have my
right?
year's membership, only $80. So Claude's Pro or Max plan is $200 a month.
Yeah. There you go.
I was paying for that. So still Claude.
Let's go Claude and Dolly 3.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Not even worth talking about.
Not even worth
Yeah.
it. All right, let's get to the last one here.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big one, Claude versus ChatGPT.
Okay, if you're talking CLIs,
Okay.
there's a big split in the CLI community between
Okay.
these two,
Ooh.
and there's a battle going on between
Really?
who likes which one. So we'll go through the pros and cons.
Let's go.
GPT-5 Codex is, I think, the smartest available model,
Okay.
hands down. I think it's
Okay.
smarter. It's slow, and that's what a lot of people don't like. Is that because it's smart and thorough, it's quite slow to give you an answer.
Which I think is good. No, I mean,
That's my
I
preference.
tell it, hey, take your time.
Take your time.
Deep
yeah.
think on this one.
Deep
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So Claude, on the other hand, is extremely capable and very quick to iterate on different ideas.
Okay.
But I still feel like it doesn't have the full understanding that GPT-5 can.
Okay.
However, if we looked at that
The chart, yeah.
4.5 Sonnet does beat GPT-5 at agentic tasks.
Okay.
So, what's your use case?
I actually missed one on there. What about Grok? Grok.
I think it's the dark horse, man. It's possible.
Grok's the dark, really,
So,
because of Elon, that Elon money, or because he's got the Tesla robots to test on, or
No, it's just the fact that he's built something that is as capable as it is so
Okay.
quickly means that he definitely has, he's got the GPUs, he's got the talent. I just not as into it. The thing is, Grok will do like anything out there, while
Okay.
both Claude and GPT-5 will like refuse for certain things.
Okay.
So if you have some tests, like you're just tired of the AI saying I'm not going to do it, then you
Okay.
can go to Grok
Go to
and make
Grok.
an API call.
Okay, it's like
So-
uncensored.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like captchas and stuff like that. If you ever want to like say I'm not a robot,
Okay.
GPT-5 and Claude will say that's not ethical, but Grok will be like, "Pfft, yeah,
All right.
click that button all day.
Oh, that's
So,
hilarious. Okay.
I don't use it like that.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
just saying the theoreticals.
So there can be only one. It would be GPT still 5, yeah?
Yep. And
Okay,
and
okay.
something that I keep telling people is that there will only be one.
That's what it seems like,
Yeah.
because there can't be 17. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. 'Cause-
It's sorry, let me interrupt there.
please, shoot.
It's more that idea of once we hit general intelligence into super intelligence, the speed at which it's going to improve on itself.
okay.
Seconds will be months, if not years, of development time.
Okay.
So whoever first finds that secret sauce of how to do
Okay.
it, all of a
Okay.
sudden you have a parabolic growth. No other AI will ever be able to catch up.
Okay.
So
okay.
whoever finds that first wins.
The golden goose.
The golden goose.
Okay.
Like whoever gets there first will win and be the super intelligence that humanity will be talking to forever.
And that's why they're racing. That's why everyone's
And
racing.
like Google right now,
Yeah.
their best developers, they will pay you to do nothing for a year.
Okay.
Because like if you quit, instead of going to another lab, they're like, I'm going to pay you for a year to just sit at your house.
Okay.
Because months matter so much in this. Because
Wow.
once you hit that next level,
Okay.
then you can get the next level faster, and then the next level faster.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Sure.
And we're
Okay.
talking about a game of weeks to months of
Okay.
progress. That means your next progress is going to be faster.
Okay.
So
okay.
this stuff is it's incredibly exciting to think
Okay,
about.
Of course.
They're moving
yeah,
at
yeah,
that
yeah.
speed.
Sure.
And it's all happening, in labs behind closed doors that we can't see. We just kind of have to
Yeah,
guess.
of course.
But the math and the progress, this makes sense.
It's for me, like looking at from the outside, I know Elon is huge, right? I know, I've heard really good things about Claude. I've never tried Claude. I've heard a lot of good things. Even Perplexity, I haven't really played with that, but I know that ChatGPT, obviously, that's the big one, the main one, I think, right? And that's kind of got that Microsoft backing, right?
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And then Google has obviously huge money as well, but also all the information, right? Like Google has all the information about everything. So it seems like it's one of those two, you would think.
Yeah.
To somebody who doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, my money's
know?
on Google for sure.
Because Google has like all the traffic.
Yep.
All the traffic, right? All the searches, all the everything.
I mean, right now.
I think. I mean,
it's whoever has the most access to like GPUs and talent and research talent.
Okay.
And
okay.
these other guys who have to fight for revenue and like for user
Yeah.
base, Google doesn't really have to care about that.
No.
And that's why my money's on Google 3 being king of the hill for
Okay.
quite some time.
Okay. I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah,
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and word on the street is pretty
Okay.
incredible.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I love that. But I don't know. Is there anything that we didn't hit that you want to talk about here?
I don't know if I'm an optimist. I
Sure.
hope it comes
Me too.
through.
Me too.
I think this is just a super exciting time.
Yeah.
I think our generation, will be one that saw problems that the previous generations just won't have to think about.
Yeah. Okay. Like a washing machine, for example. Nobody hand washes anymore.
The thing is, we don't even know.
Obviously,
what it's gonna
we
look
don't
like.
even know. Yeah.
And if you look at the trajectory of human progress over time, things have been getting faster.
Sure.
But it never feels like it's getting faster.
Yeah.
And right now, in the next, it's always hard to say, couple years, maybe decade, is when we're going to hit that hockey stick of progress.
Yeah.
Where things are just going to be like this all the time.
Yeah,
And so
I agree.
normal times, I think, as long as we don't kill ourselves or pandemic or whatever,
or AI
war,
kills us.
or that, honestly,
the rise of
possibility.
the machines.
Yeah, definitely possibility.
Yeah.
That the next, and I'm not saying this without, obviously there are people way smarter than me in this space. But if you listen to the podcast between Demis and Lex on Lex Friedman's podcast,
Okay.
it's like a 2-hour long podcast. And, this is the CEO of DeepMind. He just won a Nobel Peace Prize for his work in protein folding.
Okay.
And the stuff that they talk about potentially in the next 100 years is mind-blowing.
Okay.
The stuff that sounds totally sci-fi. But the way that they're talking about it is completely normal.
It's normal.
Because they can see the
These are smart
trajectory.
guys.
These are super smart guys. And they can see the trajectory of where we're going.
Okay.
And so,
okay.
for me, I always feel I want to go into that sci-fi space. But
Yeah.
people would just, shut down and be like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I think it's exciting, and that's another reason why I'm doing like I said, the hybrid thing with my daughter with school, because I know that, how can I say this? But I know that in Taiwan, kids go to school for a long time, really long hours and high pressure and high stress and suicide rates, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But if I saw that was, they're popping out Elon Musk's and they were just popping out all these people, I would just say, suck it up, kid. You know what I mean? Suck it up.
Worth it, yeah.
But it's not. I've been here for a long time, so I meet a lot of people, and they're like, oh, they hate, that was the worst time of their life, like junior high. And
Sure.
That's crazy.
Well,
that's crazy because you're a kid. Yeah.
What education is going to look like?
Yeah.
Huge question. I obviously don't have the answer.
Yeah.
What's it mean when an AI can pretty much answer anything or do any lab experiment or all of that research for us? I don't know.
I think memorization is that's one of the keys that they value in the school system here.
Yeah.
I think that's gone.
Oh,
that's gone because everyone will have a phone or the glasses or whatever. And it's like when your teacher said, hey, you're not going to have a calculator, and so make sure you learn the math. When you're a kid, they're like, you're not going to always have a calculator with you. And everybody has a calculator.
You just didn't see that one coming.
And it's just we all have calculators everywhere. Our watches and our cell phones and our everything have. So, obviously it's more extreme, obviously, you're not going to have access to that information, actually access to everything.
I mean, sure. Yeah. So what it means, because there's going to be a shift potentially between learning to be a productive member of society as a job into being just a productive, not even productive, a good human.
Yeah.
And what that looks like.
That's a big part.
Right?
That's a big part.
And we're no longer teaching, or will need to teach skills that are necessarily to be a part of the workforce. I guess.
No,
I don't know.
for sure.
Maybe
for
I'll eat my words in
no,
20 years
sure.
or something.
Yeah.
But the whole mindset, every structure is going to have to undergo some sort of...
Some humanization or something,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, because information will be there. But yeah, I agree, man. That's why I'm like, we got to do something different, because I only got one kid, and when you're a dad, you're kind of like, she's really great at a lot of things, but the school part is just it's just burning up half of her life, and she's burnt out.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm burning out my kid? This is weird. It doesn't make sense. But everybody does it, so it's okay. So I just think, I can't do it. And then I'm, the hybrid homeschool weirdo dad, I guess. But it is what it is, I guess.
Is what it is.
It is
and,
what it is.
Everything we're
Especially with AI, man. I mean, if it wasn't for AI being able to be like, hey, we've got the info. Boom.
Let's do this, yeah.
I would definitely it would not be as easy. It would be a deeper thought. But now I'm like, oh, take a picture of it. Let's break that into a class. Let's do it.
And
right?
which is super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that these things can be used as tools right now.
Yeah, right now.
Like for us, like
Yeah.
I said, is like an assistant.
Yep.
And then assistant's going to develop into an actual like value generating employee.
Exactly.
Then it's going to
I
move
love it.
into whatever.
Love that.
Now.
Yeah. I want to get you some food, man, before
Oh,
they close
yeah,
the kitchen,
sure.
brother. So let's call it,
All
man.
right.
Appreciate
Cool.
it.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can do another one in a year and
Yeah.
with updates
see
or
where,
something,
see
right?
where we're at. Maybe like
Yeah. Not
do
4 years.
No, never.
A year.
It's great
a
to
year.
see. I just
nice to see you too,
come
man.
up to Tiamu is hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And also, for me to leave here is hard because the school's there,
I get it,
the
man.
restaurant's
It's
there,
a
the house
grind.
is there. It's just everything's kind of here for us, so it's like a bubble.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for
Thanks,
watching
guys.
the podcast. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Don't forget to check out. I've got the Instagram in the description below for Redpoint Brewing.
Yeah.
Right. If you want to hit this guy up, hit up Redpoint
please
Brewing.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Get some good beer.
Drink more beer.
Drink more beer. Long
Yeah,
Don
be human.
Lager.
There you go.
Enjoy your life. Right.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you everybody for watching Eddy's show. We feel only happiness, don't feel any sorrow. Welcome everybody to watch more on his content. Eddy Live Podcast. Eddy Live Podcast.